As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
I may be getting ahead of myself here with this thing, but I had to talk about it because of how awesome it looks. Have you seen the mock-ups of the Las Vegas Formula One circuit, the
Ooh,
track? Is that not the most incredible looking thing you've ever seen?
just straight down the strip. Let's do it.
How
How is
what do you think that's going to sound like?
insanity? Because you
Like
have
with
the sound bouncing off all the hotels, right?
yeah,
And those cars are, dude, I don't
not
know.
quiet.
Those cars are not quiet, right?
That
But
it just looks amazing where they have the grandstands and everything set up. That looks like the one in Miami was a hit, and those tickets were not cheap. The one in Austin was great. I can't imagine what those tickets are going to go for some really good seats. Like that's going to because I imagine like if you're an international Formula One fan, Miami was a good one to go to, but Vegas is probably going to get a lot of travel coming to watch that race.
it is so unfortunate it's during football season.
I know.
We and now I'm not going to pretend that I was going to drop whatever it's going to cost. I wasn't. I wouldn't do it.
Hey, we
But
don't play on Sunday. I'm just saying.
it should it should be well, yeah, the travel would be complicated. Maybe we can make it work. You never know.
You never know. You never know. But it looks incredible.
I I saw something where Formula 1 they're accepting applications for race marshals for the event.
Hmm.
Should we apply? See what happens? See what we get back? We probably have
Front
to
row
lie
seat.
because we have no racing experience. We know nothing really about other than what we've learned from Drive to Survive, but we can try.
Let's be honest. There's no way. They don't have the time, they don't have the resources. They're not digging into anyone's history. You can say whatever you want on there and they're going to take it at face value. So yes, I do think that we sign up.
Okay. We'll give it a try. We'll see what happens.
Let's do it.
Who do you have? Yeah, it looks awesome though. That's going to be what's that? November? I think it's like 16th to 18th or something like that.
Yep, think so.
Mm.
My birthday, November 18th. So if anyone would like to donate some tickets for my birthday, do so.
That is, oh, dude, we're going to Provo on your birthday.
Awful close to Vegas.
Okay, see what
Just
we can
saying.
do.
Just
All right,
saying.
just saying. Who loves Teddy that much? All right, who do you have as your loser of the week?
Oh man, I hated this. It was terrible news. Riptide in Florida right now is
Oh
just
gosh,
brutal. They've had a bunch of drownings down there, a bunch of rescues where they've had to pull people out. It's it's like the silent killer. You don't even know it's there. Don't know the details of what happened, but Ryan Mallett drowned down in Florida, just taking a head coaching job at a high school there in Arkansas. Obviously, everyone remembers him playing at Arkansas, spent some time in the league. He's a good player. You heard a bunch of his former teammates and coaches coming out and support. You just hate to see it. And um, I always draw a blank. The running back that almost drowned, saving his son
Peyton
and
Hillis.
niece, Peyton Hillis. He had a similar situation. It took him a long time to recover after that deal. So just got to. I hate that it happened, but you got to use it as a reminder for anyone that's going down there on summer vacations. It's not familiar. Most people that live in Florida are a little more familiar with what's going down there, but if you're going on vacation, watch the kiddos, have the conversation, watch one another whenever you're in the water, take care of each other and the people around you. Always keep an eye out because it's super dangerous down there this year.
Yeah, drowns at the age of 35, and I mean, if the Riptide can get a guy that big and
Mm-hmm.
that athletic, and I'd have a, and you can't live your life in fear, right? But I'd have a tough time letting my kids anywhere near the water in Florida right now.
It's tough. and it's not just kids, it's for even good
Yeah.
swimmers. All that happens is someone throws you a frisbee or a football goes over your head. You take a couple of paddles out to grab it. You go to stand up. All of a sudden there's no sand underneath you. You're starting to swim, and you're looking at the people on the beach, and they're getting further and further away, and it's just you get tired quickly. People don't notice. I mean, it's just scary, man. You're right.
Yeah. No, it's just tragic. Know a lot of guys that played with him in the NFL. Know guys that played with him in college. Travis Swanson, who's one of my good friends, was his center at Arkansas, and had a just a beautiful Instagram post about it. And the guy had him a personality. Now I've heard some stories, but just never see something like that coming. So praying for everyone in the Arkansas football family, obviously praying for the Mallet family. Just gone way too soon, man. Crazy story.
Brutal.
All right, let's get to my winner and loser. But first,
John Vance Auto Group has been serving Oklahomans for 40 years. Family owned and operated. They got 9 full service dealerships in Woodward, Miami, and Guthrie. No matter what your vehicle needs are, John Vance Auto Group has you covered. They carry domestic brands such as Ford, Lincoln, Chevy, Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, and Wagoneer. John Vance Auto Group's goal is to give unequaled service and to exceed customers' expectations in every way, which is why they have their lifetime loyalty program. And here's how it works. You buy a new or used car, all you have to do is get all of the manufacturer recommended maintenance done at the Vance dealership. And if something goes wrong with the components of your engine, transmission, drive axle, or transfer unit, they will cover the repair costs. It's a great deal. You can browse their entire inventory or find the John Vance dealership near you at vanceautogroup.com.
and First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all. Whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone, everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information. All right, for my winner of the week, thought about going with Ryan Seacrest. This guy gets every job. Ted, Wheel of Fortune, Sajak's going away. He's calling it quits. In slides Seacrest to take over the easiest gig in all of game shows.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't know what to make of it. Is this Seacrest kind of
Are you saying he's
out?
mailing it in?
I don't know. I mean, Drew Carey mailed it in whenever he took The Price is Right. Never saw him do anything else again.
But I'm sure Seacrest will still do the New Year's stuff and all that. Come on, he's Ryan Seacrest.
Yeah, you're probably right. It probably pays great. It's the easiest thing in the world to do for a guy that's hosted a bunch of amazing stuff. This is like, it probably takes like 5% of his brain power. So maybe you're right. Maybe he's going to keep doing everything.
The thing that made Sajak so good was like the dry humor. I wonder what Seacrest, like what approach he's going to take. Cause he's not like that, right? He's more of an upbeat, energetic type of guy. Is he going to try to be Pat Sajak, or is he just going to be himself? The show could have a very different feeling.
It could, and I'm sure it's going to start out that way. Like his personality's there, but 30 years of hosting a game show like the Wheel of Fortune, sure, everyone at some point becomes very dry, and
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like
this is how I don't know how much they're paying him. I bet it's like 20 million a year at the very least.
God.
I'll act however you want me to act for $20 million a year.
No kidding.
Whatever you want on camera, I got you. However you want me to act, I can do it.
1 million. I'll do whatever you want for 1 million a year.
Call us. Wheel of Fortune. You'll have 2 hosts. We'll take half.
Now, I think this is how this works. Don't they record like 8 shows a day or
I
something like that, and
I
like really
read
front load them.
I read that Pat Sajak worked 4 days a month and they would record 6 episodes a day and was making at least,
Amazing.
they said, Forbes reported, I think it was in 2016, he was making 15 mil a year.
That's interesting. It makes sense now because whenever you watch it, I think you can tell when the first show of the day was and when the 6th show of the day was, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he's had it.
Yep. Yep. That's
So,
awesome though. That's funny.
yeah. Also thought about going with
Amazing.
Austin Reeves. Just a reminder, NBA free agency
Whew.
on Friday. That man's about to get paid.
What do you think he's going to make? 25?
I really don't know. I think there's been some stuff. Mark Stein put something out there that the Lakers are going to do what it takes to retain him. So yeah, dude, I mean, somewhere between 15 and 20 a year, I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what's crazy. That's a year.
Yeah. No, I think and I wouldn't be surprised if some other teams are out there like, you know what? We're going to send him a hell of an offer. We're going to make the Lakers match it.
Yeah.
So we'll see, but it's good. Friday's going to be a good day for Austin Reeves. Very,
He will
very good day.
become a 100 millionaire most likely.
Yes. But my winner of the week, I'm going with Trent Dilfer, man, because I liked that he came out and said what he said. Now he was on the Rick and Bubba show in Birmingham, and he shared some thoughts on tampering. And here's the quote: "Come try to get my guys. I dare you, Power Fives. I got a pretty big damn platform that I can step on. And if I find you in my kids' DMs, and if I find you talking to high school coaches about my kids, if you are in my roster, I'm going to call your ass out. I'm going to say it by name to the biggest voices in television, and it's going to make game day, and it's going to make Sports Center." End quote. I think a lot of group of 5 coaches feel this way. And I like that Dilfer's coming out and saying, I know that some people don't necessarily like him. They think he's arrogant. The ESPN, the way that all went down has made him a punchline for some people. But I think he came out and said what a lot of coaches want to say. And I respect that.
Yeah. No, I agree. I love everything about it. The only thing I wonder is, does it affect anything for him in like recruiting or with his own roster? Like that's the only thing. And I think at that point it's minimal, because you really have to kind of go out of your way to, as a player, to think that he doesn't want what's best for me. But that's actually not the case. He just wants people to do what you're supposed to and abide by the rules.
Right. And I do think what he said can be interpreted in different ways, like you're saying, because I could understand if someone hears Dilfer say this, and he said he believes group of 5 coaches don't call out other coaches because they want to be Power 5 head coaches and they're afraid of stepping on toes and what that will do for their career trajectory. And he basically said, hey, I want to be at UAB, so I'm not scared to do this. But I do think what he said can be viewed as selfish, as that he's in it for himself and not for the players. Because, and there's an argument to be made that if you're balling at UAB and Bama wants you, right, that the best thing for your career, for your NFL draft stock, for your football future is to go to Bama and prove you can do it in best conference in the country. Right? I think that's fair. So Dilfer taking this stance, like, you don't want to be viewed as the group of 5 coach that is trying to prevent you from getting to the Power 5 and getting an opportunity like that. That could be a life-altering opportunity. So it's a slippery slope, man. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, it's interesting too, though, that what percentage of guys is it really the right move to go to Alabama? Because on face value, how often are Power Five schools filling roster holes, adding good depth more than they are finding go-to superstars to plug in as their go-to wide receiver? If you're that good at Birmingham to where you're going to go to Alabama and be their number one, everyone agrees that's where you go. But if you're the leading receiver at Alabama Birmingham and University of Alabama wants you on their roster and you're going to be a rotational guy, is that like, where does that come out in the wash? Is that actually better for you? Like, that's what I don't know. But I have no problem with Dilfer saying what he said. Like, you know why I think he says it and no one else says it? Because he just started coaching college football. And everyone else knows, I guess I shouldn't say everyone else. If you're going to start calling people out, you better be super clean on whose DMs you've been in yourself.
Correct.
Right? So I think that's why nobody says anything, is because I think there's a whole lot of people out there on, like, maybe it's not everyone on a staff, but there's, going to be a couple of guys, and there may even be a couple of guys on Trent Dilfer's staff that he doesn't know about yet exactly what their track record is, where they've been, so I think that's kind of where that ends up.
Yeah. You better make sure you've got your house in order.
That's right.
Right. And best of luck to Trent Dilfer on having college kids cooperate, because that's what it's going to take. And I've said it many times. The only way tampering slows down, if players call coaches and runners, whoever, if players call them out.
Same thing with the NIL stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, the only way that any of that ever gets slowed down is if you actually have some type of enforcement there.
Yep. All right. For my loser of the week, thought about go with Damian Lillard. I feel like everyone loved him because he's loyal to Portland, right? And he's not ring chasing, and some of the quotes he's had over the, last couple of years. But it seems like that could be waning a little bit, because now it's a couple off seasons in a row where there's discussions about him being traded and meeting with the GM, and we're just talking about it a lot. And I think a lot of people are a little tired of it at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I get that. I understand him and his loyalty, and I also understand that, there comes a time also whenever you have to be realistic, and who knows what he values. And in the NBA, there is, I think, way too much put on whether or not an individual player has won a championship or not. Like, ultimately, that's what you're going to be. Like, your legacy is going to be, well, did you win a championship or not? And that, I think that gets into a lot of guys' minds. And, Father Time always wins. And, I'm not saying that he's slowing down, but he can probably see at least where that point is going to come. And you got to start maneuvering. If he's worried about his legacy and winning a title, which everyone's trying to win a championship. Like, I'm not suggesting that they're not, but you've got to be realistic about it and start to consider if maybe going somewhere else is a better path for that.
Yeah, no. And we'll see what ends up happening.
But it all is an annoying discussion over and over every year.
Yeah. It's like neither, Dame doesn't want to look like he's pushing his way out. Portland doesn't want to trade him. They don't want to trade, like, possibly the most loved player in the history of the franchise. It's just, okay, do we have to talk about it as much as we do? I don't know. I don't know. But it seems like some people are getting a little tired of it. But my loser of the week, Nick Saban. He's been coming up a lot in winners and losers, and couple reasons why. Number one, Ryan Williams who is a 5-star wide receiver that's a Bama commit, told our buddy Bud Elliott that Nick Saban told him, quote, he's going to be coaching until he croaks over. And clearly, and this has to be getting so annoying for Saban, he's getting more and more fed up with other schools telling recruits that he's going to retire soon. And people are basically out in these streets going, hey, Nick Saban is old. And that just, when you are constantly having to deal with that, when you're the best coach of all time, like, and you should have everyone's respect and you should be allowed to die on the sideline if you want to. I just feel like that's got to be very annoying for Saban.
Yeah. If he does follow through on that and coach until he croaks, it will be caused by a defensive lineman lining up in the neutral zone on a 3rd down. That will be what sends him to his ultimate demise.
It could be a 4th and 1. Defensive lineman jumps on the hard count.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Or no,
Something
it'd be
like
more
that.
like a 4th and 4. Where it's just like, oh my gosh, how stupid are you?
We got this. You get the stop, and there's the flag over there. Neutral zone infraction, 1st down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
something like that.
Yeah. The second reason, and I'm thinking this pisses off Saban more than the people calling him old and say he's going to retire. Do you see this thing about Jim Harbaugh in Michigan?
Yeah.
Implementing what they call the beat Georgia period to Michigan's football practices. And now, a couple years ago, they added the beat Ohio State or beat Ohio, whatever period, which from what I've been told, it sounds like it's just 9-on-7, which awesome. Great name for 9-on-7 drill, guys. I'm not sure what the beat Georgia period looks like for Michigan, but I know this. Nick Saban saw that and was like, you got to be kidding me. Beat Georgia. And it's just a reminder. Georgia's the king of college football right now.
Yep.
Not Bama. Not Bama. And that just has to bring some serious anger to Nick Saban. You got people calling you old and saying you're going to retire. And now you're not even viewed as the top dog in college football anymore. Angry Saban this week, if I had to guess. Angry Nick.
I like it. I actually like that Harbaugh does it. I think that's something good to implement because, I'm trying to put myself in the position of a Michigan player. If I was at OU and I had a beat Georgia period, it would piss me off that we are looking at someone as the king of the mountain and it's not us. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but
I love
to that
it.
effect for Michigan, like they played Georgia 2 years ago and Georgia beat the hell out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Remember in the college football playoff in the semifinal. So I don't think it's unhealthy to say, yeah, that's the standard. We want to be what Georgia is right now. We want to be the back-to-back champs. Like they're sitting on the throne right now. They got the crown. We got to go take it. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's a good motivational tactic for Harbaugh, for that program. I hear what you're saying. Like that would annoy the absolute hell out of me.
In a good way, though. Like for me,
but I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, it would be like, really, watch this. All right, yeah. Watch this. You think they're the best? Watch this. Yeah, I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and you and I, we get after Harbaugh a little bit on here, but I also love it. Shows respect to Georgia. But come on, we all know this is just twisting the knife, Ryan Day and Ohio State, right?
Absolutely.
Smacked them 2 years in a row.
Kill two birds with one stone on that deal. That's great. That's great.
So it was one of those things where I was like, oh yeah, respect for Georgia, that's good. But I was like, yeah, that's Harbaugh saying, oh, Ohio State, yeah, 2 years in a row, we've conquered that. I like that.
He plays that game football. For sure.
No doubt.